Thanks a lot for staying with us. Now, before these recent state elections, the opposition played the caste census card heavily. Election results suggest this did not work. In fact, even in Karnataka, where Congress promised such a census, after coming to power, the party leaders themselves disagreed. Now, this is meant to be, or at least was meant to be, the Congress and the opposition's big card for the 2024 general elections. Where does this card stand now? Apart from this, the other major issue that hit the opposition was the DMK and Udayanidhi Stalin's attack on Sanatan Dharma before these elections. Many Congress leaders were actually seen supporting this line, while nationally the Congress and India bloc just chose to distance itself and not oppose it as fundamentally as they could have, even as DMK, their ally, buckled down. Now, after these results, some Congress leaders, associates and linked commentators are raising the North versus South divide in how the electorate behaves. Some are going ahead and linking it with less prosperity and lower literacy levels for North Indians, choosing the BJP repeatedly. Others are questioning why these North Indians come and work in South India when they choose the BJP in their states. Is this another narrative that fundamentally doesn't understand the voter and in a desperation chooses to mock them? A cardinal sin, if you ask some, in politics. Also, is this not another way to mock those who don't vote the way you want them to? Politically, isn't it more harmful for the opposition than helpful? We'll take that to our guests in just a bit. But let me break down some of those tweets that came to light. So, senior Congress leader and son of former UPA Home Minister P. Chidambaram, Karti Chidambaram, posted on social media one of the first such tweets that came to light. He just said, the South. This though triggered the debate of how Congress is winning in southern states and BJP is winning in northern states. Although he later went on to say that all he wrote was the South. Don't know why people are getting excited about it. There is no debate that he intended. But there is another gentleman linked to the Congress party, Praveen Chakravarty, who is the chairman of All India Professionals, the data analytics department of the Congress. He posted a more direct tweet on social media, the north-south boundary line getting thicker and clearer with a picture that says South versus North. Later, he went on to delete this tweet because a lot of sharp reactions came from this from various quarters, not just the BJP, but other ex-users also accusing the Congress of playing divisive politics by dividing the country into those two regions. Now, there is another tweet that was much debated upon. Well-followed commentator Salil Tripathi wrote, and I quote, "I know correlation is not causality, but the states that have lower literacy, lower female literacy, lower female labor force participation, higher use of Hindi, higher population, higher fertility and lower tolerance of meat eating seem to prefer voting for the BJP." So a lot of qualitative markers being placed on the electorate. Is this really something that will help the opposition, particularly the Congress party? That's the question I'm asking. From Sanatan Dharma attack to caste census demand, now North versus South, are these narratives hurting the opposition?
I haven't suggested anything like that. Of course I'm Indian. I wear the flag on my wrist every single day. I'm more than anybody else. All I said was the South. I mean, I do not know why people have to get very excited about it. I don't know why we are unnecessarily getting into this debate.
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Nirva Mehta is editor-in-chief, The Pamphlet. Tehseen Poonawalla is political analyst, leans towards the Congress party, joining us in the studio today. Big thanks to both of you. Nirva, how do you look at a lot of these comments that have come in? Possibly there has been a rethink from those officially associated with the Congress party. Like, for example, some tweets have been deleted, some have been played down. But what do you make of the narrative that, you know, the, how should I put it, the poor, illiterate, you know, non-meat eating, I don't know, vegetarian North Indians are choosing the BJP. So somehow they are bad and the BJP is also bad. The verdicts are wrong. Plus, versus look at how progressive and, you know, everything else South is because it is choosing the Congress party.
Right. Shivani, so let me start with, since food is one of the major concerns, like meat eater versus non-meat eaters. Let me give a food-related pun and example only for this one. Say, Congress has been used to eating the sweets, okay, the sweets, desserts, mithai basically, and their teeth have gone so bad that now every time they serve these sweets, they end up getting diabetes. They'll eventually their organs will also start failing. That is exactly what is happening with all these caste census and the Sanatan attack and all these North versus South debates that they are trying to divide India on. For Rahul Gandhi, he has gone from Bharat Jodo Yatra to the complete Bharat Todo jibe. What is this? If on one hand you're talking about joining India and how he wants to connect India together in one group, and makes this Padyatra from the south of India to the north, and on the other end there are party leaders and people associated with the party who are constantly making these jibes of north versus south, and as if holier than thou. South of India is as much part of as is the north of India is.
No, I don't think
That is
that's just the
exactly what.
point that they're making. Of course, they would not argue that North is not part of India or South is not part of India. They're seeing the
No, they
fundamental issue.
do. They No,
Yes.
no, no, no. They do have this. The lot of these undercurrents. There are a lot of these tweets. Some by quite prominent people who talk about the secessionist agenda of an independent South Indian
Yeah,
state.
I
There
know
were
that exists.
so many.
I know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
that exists, and people latch on to everything to kind of further their agendas. But I don't want to give that a lot of space. The more fundamental issue I want to discuss is Tessin. I mean, what is this mentality, and when are we going to get rid of it? It's 2023, for heaven's sake. That if you vote for the BJP, you're some bhukananga idiot, and shouldn't be taken seriously. Is this how a political party should function? And I'm saying political party because there are people associated with the party, Congress, officially, who are saying these things.
So your show's called Plain Speak, Shivani. Thank you for having me here. So I'm going to do some plain speaking. You know very clearly that I do want the Congress to win and I do want the BJP dislodged. There's no doubt in my mind I think BJP is not good for our country economically and otherwise. But let me ask some questions, plain speaking, to all these intellectuals in the Congress, the party I support, or these so-called influencers on Twitter, etc. Are people of Mizoram non-meat eaters? Non-Hindus? Hindus, cowbelt, Hindi-speaking people? What happened in Mizoram to Congress today? Today, what happened? There the results are Congress got 1 seat. It lost its tally. Look, stop Sanatan Dharma. And I was on your show when the Sanatan Dharma issue happened. And I told you on your show, this will affect Congress in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. Forget the immorality of calling somebody HIV or mosquito. It's a terrible thing. You don't do that. Just the political sense. It makes no political sense. Now, forget the immorality of dividing North and South. For 1 second, let's leave morality out. Just think of it politically. The BJP is a big force in Karnataka. In Telangana, they got 8 seats. With last time they got 1 or 2 assembly seats. They got 4 Lok Sabha seats. With 8, how many are they going to get in Telangana? What are you doing? If our agenda and my agenda is to defeat the BJP, are these the issues that the BJP is going to lose on? These people, one of those guys in the professional, one of those guys who calls himself professional or whatever, was the first guy who went about saying black swan, grey swan, green swan, orange swan. अरे हमारा बदक निकाल दिया BJP ने. 50 seats नहीं आई हमको. अरे क्या कर रहे हो? And none of these guys are Lok Sabha material. Not one of them will win a Lok Sabha material. They hang around at Khan Market. They want to. Not one of them is a Lok Sabha material. People who say all this. Will any person who contests genuine elections with people say this? What kind of rubbish is going on? The other dude who was, and I'm using this word with responsibility, who was tweeting what Udayanidhi Stalin was tweeting. He is in the position where he is because his father is a big minister. Mr. Stalin on your screen, who tweets and says whatever he says. How is Mr. Stalin oppressed? First of all, I do think people are oppressed in this country, no doubt about it. But for Mr. Stalin to talk about it, he's the goddamn sports minister because his father is the chief minister.
Language.
No. Goddamn is a good word, not a bad word. No, goddamn, not a bad word. But okay, he is the sports minister because his father is the chief minister.
So
because his grandfather is Karunanidhi.
My question is this: are some people just lost in their own Lala world land where for some reason they're unable to come to grips with the fact that whatever that 10th class person you are mocking, He doesn't care anymore. You know, that maid who you feel is illiterate and comes from the cow belt doesn't care, doesn't give a damn to take your word about your opinion, the intellectual opinion anymore.
Now language, you're using
I'm borrowing from you. But I'm just saying that there seems to be a class of people who are fundamentally associated with left or, Congress politics in India. They tend to do more harm to the Congress party, but the Congress party also doesn't clarify its stand enough. For example, on the Sanatan Dharma issue, they could have done so much more.
The left,
because fundamentally, and this is my question, the Congress believes in this.
I don't think it believes in this, but the left loonies are destroying the Congress. And I use this word with a lot of responsibility, left loonies. They are absolute loonies. There is one Duggal Saab, one day is a farm neta, one day is cephalologist, one day is a Bharat Jodo spokesperson. He actually went on a channel yesterday. First of all, I don't know why channels call him. He's an expert in everything, master, and none his own political party didn't get one seat. He himself lost his deposit. He went on a channel and said, oh, the reason Congress didn't win in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh because OBC, उन्होंने ABC को seriously नहीं लिया. नहीं, the people took it very seriously. Chhattisgarh is a tribal state. OBC, Shivraj Singh Chauhan sir, before him, Babulal Gaurji and Uma Bharti ji were OBC. It won't resonate. These guys who sip champagne in Khan Market and live on cheese platters actually tell people what to do. They are not connected to the ground. That is the fundamental problem.
They don't only want to tell people what to do, who to vote for, who is better for India or for the idea of India. They also, are the gatekeepers of Indian democracy. If you don't do what they like or you differ from them, then democracy is in danger. We know those narratives also. Every time BJP wins a state, democracy is in danger. Congress wins, democracy
So Mizoram is in danger because BJP didn't win. Yeah. But Congress also. So I'm confused. Is it? See, that's what I'm saying. People need narrative. It's easy to defeat the BJP. Speak on issues: unemployment, jobs, Web 3.0, creating new opportunities, women participation.
Sounds simple, but it's not happening. But Nirva, my fundamental point is also this: in the US or in any democracy that sees regular, uninterrupted elections, there are always regions that are associated with a certain pattern. There are red and blue states in the US, but there are also comments like basket of deplorables by Hillary Clinton. It doesn't go down well. The fundamental rule in politics is to never to mock the voter. But we are seeing this repeatedly. What is this because of? Why do you think this happens? Where you deride the voter because of the political choices he or she is making, when democracy is about those choices.
It is one of the problems majorly with Congress itself, in fact. They are not very good with accepting defeat. They are the textbook definition of a sore loser when it comes to accepting defeat. That stems from the initial jive which Manishankar Iyer started with Chaiwala.
Yes.
Right. So for them, they cannot get wrap their head around the fact that a man with humble beginnings is now holding the most powerful position in a democracy that India is, while the Nehru Gandhi family, which has somehow they thought that this is the family business, and what was essentially theirs is taken away from them, and they deserve it because of the family they are born into. There is a very typical elitist mindset. Somehow the whole cowbell jive itself is a very racist, so to say, when you are mocking your own fellow citizens.
What do you, while talking about secularism, while keeping yourself on a pedestal that you value and respect all religions. I mean, I'm not even going into the kind of Gaumutra and Gobar jives that are thrown on people.
Exactly. There is Gobar people.
How is that literate? How is that progressive?
Sanghis, Gaumutra drinking Sanghis. All these jives are extremely hurtful, and they're addressed to your own fellow citizens, right? If you see, it is the same very cowbelt, if so to say, the people from UP, the people from Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, who are actually running, so to say, that there are IPS officers, IAS officers, there are laborers from all the states, not just these three states. They're from all the states across the country who are running, who are involved in the economy. So there's one gentleman.
Yeah.
The other gentleman is tweeting something on the lines that a man goes from migrates from Bengal to elsewhere, or a Haryana man comes from to Bengal seeking jobs and then votes for the Sanghis and all. So how is it even it is kind of hateful towards your own fellow citizens.
Yeah.
Um,
And all of this is being done in the name of progressive politics, which is the problem that I have. At least we have self-awareness to know that this is not love politics, this is hateful politics. But you know, the fundamentals of this argument are also poor, Tehseen. Just in 2018, the Congress did win Rajasthan. They did win Madhya Pradesh, they did win Chhattisgarh. 5 सालों में ये लोग इतने बर्बाद हो गए, 5 सालों में लोगों की बुद्धि खराब हो गई. अब they are to be demeaned. They are to be treated badly just because they chose a different way.
Why just Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh? 6 years ago, the Congress almost won Gujarat. And the Prime Minister, had he not staked his reputation, the BJP didn't reach double digits in Gujarat. It was stopped at 99. Later on, they got some MLAs. So, look, first of all, let's understand, this is one country. And you know what really hurts me? The Congress was the first political party, the original nationalist party. How have some of these woke people taken this centrist party? Why do I support the party? Because I'm centrist, right? I find that this was a centrist party. Why are they taking it so left?
Why?
I don't get it. You know, there's an interview of you believe in your own propaganda. You have all these YouTubers. I have nothing wrong against YouTube. I think they're fantastic. But you have all these woke YouTubers going interviewing the chief minister.
They're not even woke, please. I think woke is a separate category altogether.
So you please, as a political analyst, I don't understand. Is my enemy a news anchor, or is my political enemy, the BJP? Instead of fighting BJP, I'm fighting news anchors. I am talking when I'm talking the third person. What are we doing? And then we are giving interviews to YouTubers. What telling is, you are the best, you are coming to power. Then you're believing those YouTubers. I mean, this was the party of Gandhi, Nehru. You can disagree with Nehru. I have no qualms on that. But Nehru was a ground leader. He was the tallest leader of the Gandhi.
Okay,
how have we
but
gone from there to here?
No, since you mentioned the legacy of the Congress party, I'm sorry, but that fundamental question about what did those roughly 60 years do for India under the Congress, that question has to be asked. And why were we economically still struggling? I mean, it's the Congress that ruled most of India for most of these decades post-independence. So today, if you're talking about how one state is poor and another is not, why is Bihar, for example, where it is? People will tell you because of Jungle Raj. Who ruled most of that Jungle Raj? Lalu Prasad Yadav. Who's your ally today? Lalu Prasad Yadav.
I think that's
what
a great
right do
question.
you have to mock the lack of prosperity in these states?
I think that's a great question to ask. And I think if you ask that in the way you asked it, the Congress can give a fantastic answer saying, look, when India got its independence, at the time Congress was governing until Mr. Mishra in Bihar, Bihar's GDSP tallied that of West Bengal and other states. Until then, these political parties came in the last 20 years, roughly had been the BJP in alliance with other political parties. That doesn't matter. I'm not getting into nitty-gritty. That's not a show on that.
No,
what
my
I'm
point
trying to
is
say
that exactly this.
I'm trying to say that's an
Congress,
intellectual argument.
Yes,
and you
look
can
at the Congress economic record to suggest that they do well economically versus others. Even in the South,
think they do.
There are hardly any states where Congress is in power alone.
I think the Congress does do better than the BJP, and I think that's a fantastic debate for the Congress to have. But that is a debate you should take it forward. Come to Shivani's show. Stop boycotting people. And
they don't boycott me.
No, I know. And that's great because you are a fair journalist. And come here and discuss that. You are ready to discuss it. These are these are sensible questions. If you're going to mock people, if you're going to humiliate people, forget everything else. Let me turn this around. Let's say, and I'll leave this to the other panelists, she may answer. Say you were to say that Muslims are camel worshipping, just for the lack of it, or cow worshipping, or bullock cart worshipping, or Muslims are HIV, or Christians are like HIV. You know the words that were used for Sanatan.
Right.
Wouldn't you say that's hate speech? You would, right?
But
it's not accepted. It's not acceptable. I would stand up and say it's not acceptable.
This is
How
my
is this against Sanatan acceptable?
That the Congress suffers because one, it does not counter when these things are said even by their own allies strongly enough. And when Congress ecosystem linked people say these things, you know, they are not, it ends up hurting the Congress. These people don't fight elections.
So who suffered?
Congress suffers.
Exactly.
But is that realization there in the Congress party?
I think it is. I hope it is. I think, and therefore, the starting of your program, that the Congress did speak, and I know that they spoke to some of these leaders, especially this data guy who finds grey swans, green swans, and multicolored swans. I think they spoke to him and told him to, in cool language, chill a bit.
No, the tweet is since deleted, but the damage possibly has been done.
What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the damage has been done. But Nirva, you know, in India's journey, and especially because of the impact that social media has had, do you feel there's a section, the previous so-called gatekeepers of opinion and ideology and democracy, they are still very unable to get used to the fact that they've lost that pedestal? Fundamentally, this is that anger and desperation talking. Because we know best.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That they have this strange sense of, chip on their shoulder that they know better than anyone else, especially the Hindi-speaking cowbelt and obviously now, since past 10 years, the Gujus. As a Gujarati myself, I find it little strange that you continue to mock. I'm sorry?
My mom's a Gujarati, so I can use the word Gujarati. My mom's a Gujarati.
Yeah, so welcome to the tribe. But anyway, so the point is that it's funny because it's the same Gujarati community that has been shaping the nation. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was a Gujarati, and for all things, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was a Gujarati. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was Gujarati. Not something to be very, very proud of.
But the problem is that Narendra Modi is also a Gujarati. So that's the fundamental problem.
So exactly.
Proud.
Well, I don't know what they should do. I'm not in the business of telling people how they should think, what they should do with their lives, and what is right for them. I think fundamentally that decision should be left to individuals. While you can debate patterns, you can debate political realities, and all of that is fine. But nobody should be looked down upon. And the fact that some of these states are Hindi speaking, I don't know what data exists, what scientific evidence exists to suggest that those who speak Hindi have less IQ or otherwise. So that's really the fundamental question we're asking. We've run out of time though. I do thank both of our guests for joining us. Will any lessons be learnt or not? We'll wait and see.